One thing I really cannot stand about these so called environmentalists is that they love to propose ridiculous things that we, the people, must endure. Whether it is, don't flush your toilet every time you use it, or don't have so many kids, or this and that, or pay more money to the government. All these sort of things, these proposals they offer to us, people who are just scraping by, especially in this modern globalized economy, we must endure. And yet, these people who are usually of the super rich do more damage to the environment and to the planet in 1 week than most people do in half of their lifetime, if not their whole lifetime. And that is what the Duke of Cucks, whom I refer to Prince Harry as, and the Duchess of Thots, you can guess who I refer as the Duchess of Thots. That is what they have done. Starting from July 31st up until most likely August the 6th, these two have assaulted the planet with more carbon dioxide than most of us would do in our lifetime. Now, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex enjoyed a secret trip to Ibiza because heaven forfend anybody take a picture of the Duchess of Thoughts in some sort of bikini. And I do say heaven forfend very, very literally, because seeing the shape that the Duchess of Thoughts has turned into, that sight would probably not be a very pretty picture. But that's what they did. Meghan turned 38 on August the 4th. She flew down to the island with Harry on a private jet in what would have been 3-month-old Archie's first holiday. The royal couple and Archie stayed in a secluded villa away from prying eyes and traveled with security personnel for the 6-day trip. But the holiday is thought to have come just days after Prince Harry attended Camp Google in Sicily on the 31st of July, after the tech giant flew him out for its celebrity climate summit. Now, what many people are wondering and speculating is, did this false environmentalist fly down to Sicily, fly back to the UK, and then go fly with the Duchess of Thoughts and the baby down to Ibiza? Or did he simply go to Ibiza directly from Sicily? Now, it is so strange that this individual, who is said to have made a very impassioned speech at the Google camp, is actually not only doing all of this flying, which is very harmful for the environment, but using private jets to do so. Because the experts say that the private jets are more dangerous and harmful for the environment than commercial airliners. Because when one person is using a jet specifically for himself, then instead of going commercial, he can get first class. He can fly Emirates. He can fly. There are many fancy commercial airliners that he could take and do first class. He would feel just as much a prince. But of course, being the royal that he is, he has to take a private jet. And of course, the British people are paying for it. And this is, of course, the Duchess of Thoughts living it up on Ibiza. I think this is an older photograph. There were no photographs of her there, but there she is, living it up in this part of the world. I didn't even know such a place existed So it really must be a very A-list place if I don't know about it. Now, this is the picture of the Camp Google in Sicily, where all these individuals who also either arrived in private jets or arrived in private yachts attended to preach about ways to convince us common folk to do more for the environment. Meanwhile, these individuals have done a weapons of mass destruction assault on the planet in 1 week. Or I should say, at least Harry did it in 1 week, because again, he took the extra opportunity to go on vacation to this Ibiza place and celebrate the Duchess of Thots' birthday there. Buckingham Palace was asked if the prince had traveled to, I don't even know that name, Majorca, directly from Sicily via private plane, but the spokesman refused to comment. While in Sicily, Harry is said to have delivered an impassioned speech to other A-list names about the environment and humanitarianism while barefoot. He is also understood to have stayed on a gas-guzzling super yacht moored near the exclusive Verdura Golf and Spa Resort where the climate change retreat was held. Other guests were reported to include Leonardo DiCaprio, who runs his own environmental foundation, supermodel Naomi Campbell, fashion designer Stella McCarthy, and singer Harry Styles. Meghan's birthday followed 4 days later. So 31st, 32nd, 31st, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So he left on the 3rd and then stayed there for about 3 days. So that is either a week of assaulting the world with his carbon dioxide gases or a little more than a week. But it is unknown whether or not Harry returned to the UK before joining his family or whether he met them in Ibiza. Should Harry have flown directly to Ibiza from Palermo via a private jet with 5 passengers, it would have put around a ton of carbon into the atmosphere. If he did return home to Palermo, a flight to the UK would have used up about 1.3 tons of CO2, while a flight from London to Ibiza would use about zero point 0.8 tons. A source told Majorca Daily Bulletin, no images have emerged of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Archie, who stayed at a villa well away from the cameras because, of course, the Duchess of Thots does not want to be seen in her tutu or her bikini or her bath suit or possibly even naked, because when it comes to these people, they will do just about anything because they feel they can. And this is the flight path that Harry looks to have taken. Not commercial flying, but private jet flying. And then he's out there trying to preach about ways that we can improve the environment and talking about how he is only going to have 2 kids, which most likely upset William and Catherine, and that's why they're trying to avoid them. Harry and Meghan most doubtedly also took a private plane to Balmoral now, and that's where they are now. But I have to say that, honestly, if the environment were to choose between Harry and Meghan having a 3rd child and Harry and Meghan living the way they're living with their private jets and private yacht parties and all this whole heap of unnecessary traveling, I think the environment would choose a 3rd child. A 3rd child is nothing compared to what these individuals have done in just 1 week. If they're so concerned about the environment, then why are they choosing to have these vacations in such faraway places? They have palaces that they can go to. They have land that they possess. They can invite people to these areas, or they could just have a small affair. I mean, this thing about birthday party and everything, these are adults. What are they having birthday party for? Most adults, working class adults, don't have birthday parties because it's too expensive and it's just not necessary. So these individuals need to think, if they're truly concerned about the environment, they need to stop doing what they're doing, wasting taxpayer dollars and assaulting the planet. Questions over how the couple traveled to the Spanish island are likely to reignite criticism the prince faced over his attendance at Camp Google late last month. Sources told the Mail that Google paid for a private jet and helicopter to ferry Prince Harry from London to Balmoral for the summit, as environmental groups blasted the meeting for hypocrisy. And many airport officials at that airport would say things like, when they were asked if Harry flew commercial or private, they would say, being royalty, you can guess which. And of course, this is just another graph of how much carbon dioxide these rich individuals have deteriorated upon the earth. Flying from Los Angeles, yachting, um, Prince Harry with his private jet. It's a disgrace. Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom arrived on David Geffen's gas guzzling $400 million yacht. So there you have it. That is your environmental royal couple, British patriots. This is the